We are live. We are live. So, I might have lied. I said 7:30 p.m. BST, but you know, I was ready by 7. So, why not make it early? Why not make it slightly earlier? Why not, right? Right? I'm a nice guy, so I figured I would make the finale a little bit earlier. It's the finale of Season 2 of F1 2016. It has taken so long to get here, man. So long. Like, we've got 2 months until the next game. Yeah, 25th of August. 2 months, basically. 2 months until next game. And I need to get a Season 3 done. So I'm going to be pushing it to get Season 3 done. But it will get done. It will get done. Let's give it a little recap on what happened. We qualified 14th. It was so annoying, right? I wanted to I didn't want to get into Q3. The reason I didn't want to get into Q3 is my car's just fast enough to get in there. So I don't see the point in starting 10th and being locked onto the tyre that I want. I might as well start 11th and have free choice, right? That was the theory. And with 1.5 minutes to go, I was in 11th place. Now, I could have improved on my lap and probably got 10th. But I'm in 11th. So I fast forwarded to the end of the session and they say, yeah, you got 14th. Oh, brilliant. 3 guys went like a 10th faster and displaced me. It was so frustrating. But it does mean we have free choice of tyre. And we have proved our worth on first lap. First lap of the race is what we're good at. We lost to Raikkonen. I mean, we've basically been in the rival of Raikkonen all season. He smashed me every time because his car was so much faster. We got our upgrades. Haas, now 6th fastest car. As opposed to like 2nd worst when we first started. So that's a little summit. It's a little summit. We got 2 upgrades coming in for this final race weekend. We got 6th earlier on today in Brazil. That video on demand will be available tomorrow morning for those who missed it. And the video on demand for this will be available tomorrow afternoon. Let me know in the chat if you're excited for the finale of F1 2016 Season 2. No one bought any upgrades. We were the only ones to bring upgrades this weekend. So Red Bull remain top of the pile. We have a fight on our hands with Williams and Renault. As it has been for the last 6 rounds, it is imperative that we beat them. And we get 4th in the Constructors, which we got last year with Renault. But last year we got 3rd in the Drivers, whereas this year it's 7th. So, you know. Areas of improvement all round that could be done. Let's get into this one, shall we? Post in chat if you're excited for the finale. I hope you are. Oh. This bottle of water I got out of the fridge like hours ago. It's not good. After the last couple of races being wet dry affairs, I think from the weather forecast I saw in quali it's going to be dry, like completely dry for the final race. So in the first lap, we are going to be looking into the chicane. Well, turn 1, because it'll be nice and bunched up. Into the chicane will be a prime overtaking spot. And then, of course, you've got the first hairpin, which is unlikely. But if we get good drive, good slipstream, we'll be looking into the chicane. No Drivers' World Champion yet. It's between Daniel Ricciardo and Lewis Hamilton. Ricciardo 20 points ahead. So, unless Daniel Ricciardo... I mean, if Daniel Ricciardo wins... Well, that's it. If Hamilton wins, Ricciardo has to get 5 points. Because I think he's won more races this season. So he would have to finish 7th. But I'm fairly confident Ricciardo is going to take this one. Certainly not my strongest track. But we will see who is on pole position. I forget. Rosberg, then Hamilton. Wow, Ricciardo. Ricciardo starting 5th while Hamilton starts 2nd. Interesting. Very, very interesting. As you can see, going to be overcast, allegedly, for the whole Grand Prix. Fairly simple strategy. I don't see any benefit in us deviating from that. I like a super soft tyre strategy. I believe the super soft is the mandatory tyre. There's no point in really running the ultras. They only really go sort of 5-6 laps at maximum. We can always swap over to those if there's any kind of safety car period, if it's beneficial for us to use those tyres, but it probably won't be. 28 laps of the Grand Prix. Let's take a bit of fuel out. There's no need for us to run that high. We can run with 26. We'll 42.6 kilos, 26 laps of fuel. We'll be able to save for the majority of the Grand Prix, I reckon. Right. Go on to the formation lap momentarily. And it will be the final race of the season. It's an important one. Impress here. We haven't had a contract event all season. So, you would expect one to be this weekend. I know what I'm hoping for. I've said it before. I'd quite like a Ferrari seat. We will see what happens as we now go to the formation lap. We've got Magnussen and apparently we're leading. Allegedly we're leading. So we've got both Renaults and both Williams just ahead of me. We've got Magnussen, Massa, Palmer. I think I saw Bottas is like 9th, I think. So, you demand a podium. That's a big ask, man. It's a very big ask. I mean, I can try. I'm obviously going to aim for as high a result as possible, but a podium. It'd be nice to end the season on a podium, you know. We've only had 2 podiums all year, where we won in Monaco and Canada, under those ridiculous circumstances. First lap, obviously, we're going to try and get past Magnussen, Massa, and Palmer as quickly as possible. Basically, once I'm ahead of the cars that I'm trying to contend with in the championship, I am pretty much set. I can get into a nice rhythm in the race. You never know what's going to happen. We could get safety cars. But I think we're on a nice stable strategy. This one. Super soft, soft tyre. I want to bet that's the strategy Magnussen's going to run. Button behind us on the Ultras. Never know what he's going to do. Grosjean just behind him. It's going to be an interesting one. Here we go. Game's taking control. Very soon, it will be lights out and away we go. Grid's formed up. Here we go then. Five lights. Lights are out. Away we go. Oh, we've got a fantastic start. Better than both Renaults and better than Massa. We're, of course, going to lunge one down the inside. Bit argy-bargy with Perez. Oh, my God, the run. Oh, my God, the run. Look at that. Look at the run we had versus everyone else up into 5th. Out of the first corner. What happened with the AI? I have no idea. Daniel Ricciardo already up to 3rd. Has Hamilton passed Rosberg off the line? You'd expect Mercedes team orders to say that he probably has. We split the Ferraris off the line. I'm going to drop it down to standard because we've got a lot of fuel saving to do this race. Raikkonen in the slipstream. He won't be silly enough to try anything this early on. He's still battling for supremacy with Vettel in this championship. He has more points. I think it's like 12 more points than Vettel. But we're up into 5th. Dream start. Absolute dream start for us. And now we've got to casually and calmly take it to the finish. As long as there's no incidents, nothing too major happens, we will be golden. We will get 4th in the Constructors. Bit of understeer there off that right left-hander. Raikkonen on our gearbox. Vettel, interesting enough, has started on the super soft tyre. So we're going to see him run for longer in this first stint. Of course, those tyres are the ones he used in Q2, so they've had a heat cycle and they've done an extra couple of laps. Of course, one being at full chat, so he will probably be in a couple of laps earlier than us. Raikkonen and Verstappen all over my gearbox, as you'd come to expect from two cars that are way faster than mine. Haven't quite got what we wanted into the hairpin. That means Raikkonen is down our inside. We'll bump it up to Rich. We might as well fight him. Look at the straight line speed that we've got. Raikkonen's thinking about a look, but he doesn't do it. Oh, we've gone very, very early into that corner. He's looking racy at the start here, though, Raikkonen. And he is in a much faster car, so I wouldn't be too surprised if he finds his way through sooner rather than later. I shouldn't really waste much time battling him, but we may as well have some fun with this last race, just as long as we don't get tangled up with him like we did in the Circuit of the Americas in Texas. Looks like Vettel and Ricciardo have caught the Mercedes as we're using all of the runoff areas, apparently. Hamilton leads. Ricciardo sets the fastest lap. DRS is now enabled. So that's something we're going to have to look out for on the exit of the hairpin into the first major, or second chicane, should I say. Car does not feel great on heavy fuel, I will say. It felt a lot nicer in quali with this setup. I did mainly low fuel runs in practice, I will admit. So it's always interesting to know how your car's going to handle at the start of a Grand Prix. We're building a little bit of a train behind us, I will admit. Here comes Kimi. DRS is open. Ricciardo's in the lead. Raikkonen on the inside. He's outbraked us. He's squeezed himself to the inside though. We'll fight it around the outside. Position kept. There we go. I'll admit Abu Dhabi not one of my good circuits. Got a bad exit there. Raikkonen goes through. Can we keep it on the inside? No, we can't. I'm just going to let him go. There's no point in fighting that one once we made the mistake. I had issues in season 1 around here in the Renault. The tyres sort of like they almost went through like this graining period, and I just struggled to get any turn in. So I wonder if we're going to see that again in the Haas. Car's already making a pit stop. Must be ultra soft runners, you would expect. I'm taking liberties over some of these curbs. So Verstappen and Massa just behind us. Here comes Verstappen. Renault Power. He's got DRS as well. And he's on super soft as well, interestingly enough. We're going to go down the inside. Force him out. That lets Massa through. So Massa, one of the guys we're actually racing. Now behind us. This race is not about looking ahead of us. I don't really mind who's in front of me as who currently is, as long as I keep the Williams and the Renault behind me. And as long as I do that, we get 4th in the Constructors. So that's all that matters to me. Raikkonen is in. Had enough of those ultra softs already. He's the first guy in of the leading pack. So I expect these front-running guys to be doing a 3-stop, ultra soft. Don't know. It's a weird one for them. They could go ultras, and then soft. But oh my god, the speed from Massa, the absolute speed from Massa. That low drag Williams with the Mercedes engine is pretty OP in a straight line. Yeah, but sometimes the AI love to go like ultras around here, which only gets you like 10 laps in. I mean, I don't think this, the regular soft tyres will take you 18 laps either, so. We're, of course, running the 2-stop. Ricciardo leads, so if it remains as it is, Ricciardo is world champion. Oh, we've run very wide in the final corner. Verstappen forcing the issue. Loads of other guys behind us in the pits. Verstappen going to take a look into the first corner, maybe. He's pinched himself in. We should have got a better run on the outside. Verstappen's still there. I didn't trust myself going into the right-hander. We've let him go. Now Palmer behind us in 6th, who's also started on the super softs. We're just going backwards at the moment, which obviously not ideal, but as long as it plays out in the long game, there's a lot of race left. As it is only lap 6 of lap 20, or of 28 laps, should I say. We'll save enough in standard, Jeff. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. We'll save enough in standard. We've already saved like nearly a lap, and it's only 6 laps in, and we've been doing that on standard mix. So very economical drive so far. Probably could have taken some more laps of fuel out of the car, but I'll apparently be taking a bollard with me. More of the front running guys are in the pits. Got that wrong. I never really know where to brake for the first corner. Like, I feel 100 meters is too early, but I'm not confident enough to brake after 100 meters. So looks like it's going to be a waiting game at the moment, as we're in P3, lap 7. Yet to make a pit stop. Tyres are good for a few more laps. Left front's at 40-odd%, so when that gets around about 60, that's when you know you need to come in. I can't remember my pit stop lap. I'll take a look at that in a second. Between laps 8 and 12. I think we can go further than lap 8. We can definitely go further than lap 8. Yellow flag. Why is there... Oh, Verstappen's out the race. Engine failure. Engine failure, VSC. Verstappen's engine has blown ahead of us, and he's now out of the race. Promotes us up to 2nd. God, this VSC's gone on for a little while. Here we go, it's ending. We'll pick up the pace a little bit now. DRS re-enabled. Vettel pit. We now gain the lead of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Only for a few laps until the pit stops happen. Grosjean up into 3rd at the moment. He's got a little train behind him. That's absolutely fine. That's only going to help me in the long run. So Grosjean being a good team player. Hopefully there's a Williams and a Renault in there somewhere, as Palmer is up in 2nd place. So I think we can go to lap 10 on this set of tyres. I think is the aim. And lap 9, lap 10. I don't expect this. Whoa, as we get too much curb. Don't expect to set the world on fire with any of my lap times due to the wear on the tyres and due to the speed of the car. So this is one of those where we're in. I mean, we are in the lead, but I don't know what our net position is. I mean, we were 6th before Verstappen. I mean, we were 6th before the pit stop started. Then Verstappen's blown up. So you'd consider that net 5th. But obviously, guys that have pit are going to be lapping faster than us. Unless they're stuck in the Grosjean train. Palmer not coming in that time around. Neither has Grosjean. There's Raikkonen's speed on fresh tyres. That's 2 seconds faster than our personal best, which is quite a lot. Like I say, this is just a measured race, this one. This doesn't need to be anything special. All this needs to be is points. Is realistically all it needs to be. Nice, measured, calculated drive to a good result is realistically what I need, as Ricciardo gets past Grosjean now. So if no one else gets past Grosjean, Ricciardo could look to build a big lead in this race. I wonder when Palmer's going to pit. Palmer could be in at the end of this lap, and if he is, he'll probably undercut me by quite some margin. That's my assumption. I'm going to go one more, you know. I'm going to go to lap 10. No need to push the car that much. Is Palmer coming in this time around? Answer is yes. Palmer is in. Okay, so we need to pit this lap. As Ricciardo now comes up behind us. We need to try and go as quick as we can on this lap on our worn set of tyres to try and not lose out to Palmer. But he is going to have much fresher rubber, so I won't be surprised if we come out behind him. He's come out just ahead of a big train of cars as well, so that's a little bit unfortunate. But it is what it is. Here comes Ricciardo. As Vettel now passes Grosjean for 3rd. Ricciardo will be coming past me any minute now on this straight. Which is fine. You're the race leader, fella. You go ahead. Just make sure the next tyres I'm fitting are the super softs. Yes, they are. Excellent. Yeah, we've losing a lot of grip. A lot of grip. Right, so we're coming in. Definitely not attacking the pit lane. Not after the drive-through penalty that we got in Brazil. So Palmer is that car coming through the penultimate corner now, is my assumption. Looking to come through. There's the final corner. That's Jolyon Palmer. I think it is at least. Massa's in as well from behind us. Yep, Palmer's ahead. I expected Palmer to be ahead. We need to get ahead of this train of cars, however. And we are. Wow, Palmer got a decent gap on us. Right, okay, let's push now for a few laps. We've got the fresh rubber. We may as well use it. Try and chase down Jolyon Palmer, shall we? Very wide there. That's not what you want. Oh, getting our braking points a little bit wrong here. Not what we need if we're trying to catch up to this guy. Grosjean is in. Oh, just missing the edge of the circuit there. Overdriving the car a little bit on this lap. How far ahead is Palmer? Palmer is 1.8 ahead of us. He's now only 1.5. We've gained on him in the first sector. We've got 1 lap fresher tyres than him, so even though he might have got the undercut, we now have the advantage. Let's close him down. Burn some of this excess fuel that we, well, I say excess, we're still minus, but need to stick with him in this final sector so we get DRS. That's what we want. Oh, big sleeping policeman there on the inside. Oh, we've cut that ridiculously. What's it going to be? As we cross the line, it's going to be close to a second. 9/10, personal best lap of the Grand Prix. Can we get close enough to get DRS this time around? That's the question. I'd say we are. I'd say we're close enough, but can we use it? We're just within a second. He's just too far ahead. But we're going to have it open. Might be getting a tiny bit of slipstream. We're going to close under braking. Second bite of the cherry we're going to get here. Come on. Oh, this straight just isn't long enough. God, we catch him under brakes. We're going to have to get him. No, we're not going to be able to get him through this final sector. It's going to be through the first sector. Look how much we close under braking. Palmer is struggling. We cross the line. 0.5 of a second. Oh, Jolien. Coming for you and your 5th place. Oh, we have to get him this time around. We just have to. Look at how close it is. Oh, he's got good traction, though. Nah, we're slipstreaming DRS. He's done. He's done. Look at the closing speed. Just look at it. It's laughable. On the brakes. Beautifully done. Through on Palmer. He's going to get DRS to try and come back if he can, but I doubt it. And we now will drop it back into standard mix, and we will now try and run. And try and build a gap if we can. We took a big chunk of curb. Another yellow flag. Why is that? Someone's pulled off after the first chicane. No note as to why. No retirement. VSC. Button's out the race. Magnussen's out the race. Well, well, well. That helps me a lot. Means one less Renault to worry about getting points, although I don't think Magnussen was running very high.
Drop your speed, our delta is too low and we'll risk a penalty. Slow your pace immediately.
That marks half distance as we come across the line. Come on. There we go, ending. Oh, that's a lot of curb taken. There we go. Abuse the end of the VSC to build a little bit of a gap to Palmer. Right, so our projected pit stop is between laps 17 and 20. We're going to be going on to the soft tyres at the end of the race. We don't have to pull out 10 laps like we did on the super softs. We could pit a little bit sooner. But I'd like as fresher tyres as possible at the end as we take another big chunk of curb. That's only costing us time. Oh yeah, you can see there was a big crash. Big old gap ahead of us, which I don't think we're going to be able to close up. I just realised I was right. Net 5th. After we passed Palmer, we're up into 5th. Leading 4 are just too quick. Far too quick for me. So, it is a battle to be best of the rest today. And the best of the rest is hopefully going to be us. Do you know, I think I will pit on 17 for the soft compound tyre. Just because that way we are immune from an undercut. Although we get it completely wrong through turn 1. Just not what you want. Ideally, I'd want to build a gap to Palmer, if at all possible. Which we haven't really had much success doing, just as of yet. Because of my own awful driving. The difference when you're actually streaming this and having to like add commentary over the top is such a dynamic difference compared to when you like just recording it whenever the hell you want as a video and not having to talk. You know, it's my concentration is so split right now. Oh my, that was bad. Rosberg and Hamilton are having a little scrap. Hello, Katie Taylor. How you doing? Palmer's now on the back of us. The mistakes we've made has allowed Palmer to get back at us after we built a few seconds to him. Grosjean's also closing in. Oh man, if I could back Palmer into Grosjean. That's an interesting idea. Then almost like let Grosjean go through. But then we're coming into the pits in the end of the next lap. There's no point to that strategy whatsoever. In fact, we're gonna say that we're coming in this lap. How am I? I'm doing good. I'm doing good, thank you. I am very warm because of the old UK heat wave that we're getting. It's about 20,000 degrees in my room right now. My PC is screaming at me. because it's so warm. Here comes Palmer. Look at Palmer. Pretending his Renault engine has some straight line speed because of his DRS, is he? Other than that, I'm good. Finale of F1 2016 Season 2. I'm pretty excited for the end of this race, see if we get any contract offers. Palmer, is he going to try something? He's going to have to go to the outside if he wants to, and, you know, fair credit to him, he does. He locks up, though. Oh, that was sneaky. Very sneaky going down the inside. Car ahead has fitted this. Okay, so Vettel's come in and fit the soft tyre. Palmer's now been backed into Grosjean a little bit. Supposed to rain tomorrow, same as next week. I can't wait. I'm honestly going to sit outside and just enjoy it. I really am. I can't be dealing with this. I really can't. Oh dear, all over the curbs. Lovely stuff. In the pits. Get it all wrong. Right. Soft tyres. Final stint. Grosjean attacking Palmer, hopefully to keep him distracted. Hopefully we don't come out in traffic. That's best case scenario. Oh, 2.1 from Haas. Beautiful pit stop. I think we're going to come out behind traffic. Oh no, they've built a gap. Never moan about the heat, we get so little good weather. Hey, I'm allowed to complain. You don't understand, as a man of my complexion and a man of my genetics, cannot be dealing with this. Oh man. Yeah, no, not good. Not good. Nice to have some nice weather, but this is ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, like, if I wanted the weather of Spain, I'd go to Spain. I'd never go to Spain. If I could get, like, a solid 12 degrees all year round with some light drizzle every once in a while, best case scenario. Honestly. That's just me, though. That's just me. Classic Brit as well, you know. We got to complain about something. We've always got to complain about something. Right, so this outlap has been okay. Grosjean is in. Is Palmer in? I think he is, from what I'm seeing. Oh dear. That's not gone according to plan. Massa pits as well, so that's a Williams out my way.
Okay, gap ahead is 1.4 seconds.
Saw Grosjean's name tag. Oh, it's going to be close with Grosjean, you know. Grosjean's ahead. I can't have that. Diving move against your teammate. That was... I started clenching. Grosjean did a great job to get ahead of Palmer. And now that he has, I'm going to use him as rear gunner. Needs to be in Scotland. I mean... I've never personally been. Scotland is actually a place, like... I'm not going to say I'd like to go. It's not like a holiday destination, but... You know... I hear they're lovely people, maybe. I don't know. Got Scottish ancestry? Whatever the pronunciation of the word is. Right. Lap 19 of 28. All pit stops complete. We're running in a net 5th position. We've got Grosjean as our rear gunner behind us. And Jolyon Palmer behind him. All we need to do is beat or finish ahead of Williams and Renault. And we get 4th in the Constructors. Home of the Gingers. Well, I mean, it's a combination of that and Ireland, right? Which also have Irish ancestry. So, you know. I was Bound to be Ginger, mate. Bound to be. Well, that's not gone according to plan. It's going to put Grosjean right up behind me. And Iron Brew, yeah. Iron Brew is disgusting. It really is.
Our gap to the car in front is 3.4.
We're just listing everything good to come out of Scotland. Or for the home of what is Scottish. For real though, Scottish shortbread, potentially one of the best things ever. Let's be realistic here for a second. And Andy Murray. Yeah, he's not British, he's Scottish. We've got to remember that. Scottish. Grosjean, I wouldn't. You don't want to battle me. You really don't. And you especially don't want to be losing a position to Jolyon Palmer. And that's exactly what you're going to go and do. You numpty. And shortbread. There we go. He finally mentions the shortbread. Look at that. Oh no, Palmer's going to get a run on me now. Oh dear. Oh dear. Palmer. No. Doesn't try it. Now Palmer's past Grosjean. Grosjean, you screwed up. Sean Connery. There's something good. We got to appreciate good old Sean. I'm going to drop to standard, and we'll leave Rich Mixture for defending at the end. We're getting a bit of a train behind us, though, so I'm not appreciating that. Also, Danny Kvyat, I think he ran the soft tyre at the start of the race, and therefore, if he wanted to do a one-stop, he could. Deep fried Mars bars. I've only ever had 3 of those in my life. And I'm going to be honest, I quite enjoyed them. I quite enjoyed my deep fried Mars bars. It is a thing. It really is. They're harder to find down here in like in good old England. There used to be a local place right near me that did them. But sadly, they don't anymore. At least they're not on the menu, but I guarantee if you ask for one, you'd definitely get one. Grosjean back past Palmer. I've helped him out. Grosjean, Grosjean, come on, mate. You don't want to fight me. At least it will keep me entertained for the final 6 laps or 7 laps, however long there is. We are also slowly catching Danny Kvyat. I think one of the Ferraris is behind me, and that one Ferrari has got ahead of Palmer. And are we just listing Scottish things now? Should have captured this chat for reference. I don't think Kvyat's going to pit, you know. Well, not all Scottish. I don't think he's going to pit. I think we're going to pass him, though. Grosjean under pressure from Raikkonen. Here we go. Can we both? Can we get a little slingshot going? If I had slingshot Grosjean past Kvyat, he was in my slipstream. Yeah, I think it's happened, you know. Oh, Kvyat squeezes him, but Grosjean gets a good run. Grosjean's through. 5th and 6th for Haas. Unbelievable scenes. Rosberg just up the road. Well, I say just up the road, half a minute up the road. Back into this P5 with the old train behind me. I'm running a train worse than you used to running zombies in Shangri-La. Also, these guys are right up my chuff. If anyone's going to get through it, it's going to be Raikkonen. How is that debris still there? Because this game does not like clearing up the track. Grosjean down the inside. Oh, Grosjean might do me here. Oh no, he lifted. He lifted. I've gone wide. I've had to lift myself. Just about defended it. Yeah, the debris is still there because the game does not like, I don't know, being good at game things. Right, we're going to break the slipstream early and we're actually going to put it into rich mix. See if we can... oh dear. The AI has been smart about this. Grosjean going to the inside. Oh my god, here comes Raikkonen. Oh my god, we're going to go 3 wide. I clenched quite hard. Grosjean's done me into the chicane. Credit where credit's due. For once, his AI is actually performing. Here comes Raikkonen. We've got DRS, thankfully, to help us defend. Now, I don't think Grosjean's going to get too far ahead of us here, so we should realistically be able to keep up with him through this final sector and get him back at the start of the next lap. That's best case scenario. We have to follow him through this tight, twisty hotel section. As the battle for 5th rages on in the dying laps of the season and the dying laps of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Oh, we've gone wide. Raikkonen! There was contact. I did not need to go spinning out against Raikkonen there. Wouldn't have been the first time this season. Especially after USA. It's going to be another 6th place, you reckon? I mean, Grosjean's managed to gain a bit because of the shenanigans with Raikkonen there. I'll take another 6th place again. If I beat Renault and Williams, that's all I could really ask for. Here comes Raikkonen again. Oh, he's going the inside this time. We've been later on the brakes. He was still there. I've spun him. And he's retired. Oh dear. That's not gone according to plan. I pinched him on the apex. I mean, most of my car was ahead. Most of it. And I had no indicator arrow to show that he was, like, alongside me. I'd love to look at a replay, but, you know, too busy racing. But that's my excuse. I killed him. No, look, right, I merely tipped him into a spin. If anyone killed him, it's Jolyon Palmer. Speaking of Jolyon Palmer, he has come into the pits, probably needed some repairs, and that means Massa has been elevated to 7th place. 4 laps remaining in the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, and in the, I mean, you can call it the 2017 season, I suppose. All we got to do is bring the car to the end. I'm totally fine with Grosjean being ahead of me on track. That's 10 points to him. This is 8 points to me. That's 18 points for Haas. It's more than Williams and it's more than Renault. Ricciardo leading as well, so he will be crowned the world champion. The debris is still on the track. Suppose I can take these last few laps to reflect on the season that was. It was bold leaving Renault, who were the 4th fastest team, or 3rd or 4th fastest team when I left them at the end of Season 1, to join Haas, who were the 2nd slowest car on the grid. Early on, we experienced some failures. We got a few early points, actually. We got quite lucky early in the season with some good points. I mean, early in the season as well, we won in Monaco and in Canada. Canada was the wet, and I think Monaco, I can't even remember what happened in Monaco. Those are our only 2 podiums. We've had a few DNFs. Most notably the Mexican Grand Prix. In 3rd place, running in the wet. Oh no, sorry, it was after the wet start, in the dry. We dropped the back end off of a curb, and we smashed it into the wall out of a potential podium there. And that's where Renault overtook us in the Constructors' Championship. But we fought back with a 6th place in Brazil earlier on today in the stream. And that put us back ahead, and now we are performing here. Been an odd season bringing this car up, which is technically what I did last season with the Renault. I'm hoping that I've, gained enough attention over this season with some of my better performances. There's been some bad ones, let's be honest. I'm hoping I've gained enough attention to warrant a proper drive. I say a proper drive, a top big boy seat next season. Suppose we'll see if Emma's got anything for us at the end of the race, where we only have 2 laps to go. And I know some of you in chat have only been here since I started doing these live streams. Good evening, Alessandro.
We have 2 laps of fuel remaining.
But if anyone there who's seen all of Season 2, could they please tell me their favourite moment? Like I said, I know some of you are here just where I've been recently live streaming these. But if I can get people's favourite moments from Season 2 of F1 2016, that'd be cool. Me. You've been your favourite moment. Alright, that's a fair comment. You provided some top quality entertainment in the chat, I'll give you that. You've helped me get through the awful races that I've had over these past couple. But, Mexico could have been a good one. Brazil was decent. This one as well. So we now come around the final corner to start the final lap of Season 2. Loads of fuel left, loads of tyre left. We've been a lot more cool, calm and collected over the race in Brazil and the race here, and it really shows. Daniel Ricciardo wins the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, and with that seals his championship victory that he so richly deserves. He won the first 5 races of the season, and then he had a horrible slump of form, but he's clawed his way back. The Red Bull is back on top, as they're probably going to win the Constructors as well.
Conditions
as we're now in the final sector. Fireworks go off. I do love this. It's so nice to be finishing a season off in Abu Dhabi where the fireworks are going off all around you. The final few corners. I don't know why I'm, making these comments like commentaries if, I'm winning a championship. I'm bringing it home in 6th, but, 4th place for Haas in the Constructors when we were the 2nd slowest team at the start of the season. Feels pretty damn good to me. As we cross the line in 6th place at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Grosjean was 5th, and that seals 4th place in the Constructors for Haas. We finish up 7th in the Drivers overall. And Daniel Ricciardo is the Formula 1 World Champion. And the frame rate on that celebration is disgusting. Trust me, that's not the stream. I'm seeing that as well. That's an awful. Look at that.
So another fantastic victory from Red Bull today. Anthony, what do you think made the difference here?
Well, the safety car completely changed the race, didn't it? It's hard to say exactly what would have happened without it, but there's no question that they came out of that situation in a good position.
There we have it. Daniel Ricciardo, Sebastian Vettel, and Lewis Hamilton make up your podium. Did Vettel actually... Oh no, Vettel, with that 2nd place, has overtaken Raikkonen in the drivers because Raikkonen retired from this Grand Prix. So Vettel gets the 5th place.
And now let's take a look at the drivers.
And there you have it. The results. Romain Grosjean from 16th on the grid gets 5th. I from 14th gets 6th. Kvyat did make a 2nd stop in the end. Had to be expected, really. Palmer out the points. Bottas down in 16th.
But let's look at the constructors' standings. And it's another title in the bag for Red Bull. After a long and hard-fought season, they built an
And there you go. Vettel beats Raikkonen by 4 points. We get 7th. And in the Constructors, we get 4th. Williams beat Renault. So there you go. Renault were 4th in the championship before the start of the Brazilian Grand Prix, and they finished 6th overall. Red Bull Racing, your Constructors champions. Daniel Ricciardo won it in the end by 30 points. Good season. A good season, I think, personally. Grab these resource points. Not that we're going to need them, hopefully. Go past this. End of season. Dear Simon, we're delighted to announce that your performance has been above our expectations. You finished 7th in the Drivers' Championship. You and your teammate Romain Grosjean, but mainly me, amassed enough points to rank us 4th in the Constructors. We look forward to progressing even further next season, so need some time to relax. You've earned it. Here's what we're after. Oh, this is what I want. Emma, give me good news. Please give me good news. Who is it? What are my choices? What are my choices? Yes! Oh, there it is. There it is. There are our choices for our drive in Season 3. We could either stay at Haas. Not happening. We could go to Mercedes. No thank you. We could move to the fastest team on the grid in Red Bull. Alongside, I think Danny Rick is the registered #1 driver. So you could have Daniel Ricciardo, reigning Formula 1 World Champion, and me in the fastest car on the grid. Or we could go to Ferrari. Which is what I've wanted to do since the midway point of Season 2. I can go there as the first driver straight away and get those additional resource points from the very first race. That's huge. I think I know who we're taking. Ferrari, the current third best team on the grid, and I would look to take them next season, and myself, of course, to the World Drivers' Championship and the Constructors' Championship. We're going to sign on the dotted line. We're going to move to Scuderia Ferrari for Season 3.
Great.
The whole reason I moved to Haas in the first place was to get that Ferrari seat. But we had to prove it this season. I think, well, clearly we did. So we're now going to be with Ferrari next season for Season 3. Incredible. Just incredible. Whew. Well, that about wraps up Season 2. The Abu Dhabi Grand Prix is over. We've signed on the dotted line for next season. We are going to be joining Ferrari and trying to get the major titles. Good season. I think it was a good season too. You know, we had a harder time than Season 1. Because, of course, you know, some of the cars are going to have had their upgrades already, whereas you start Season 1 with, like, everyone's at their stock level. But to get 7th, considering the car that we had, I think was important. Took Kimi's spot. I don't know, if I'm honest, because I think what the game does is it replaces who the game has been programmed to be that driver. So I think, like, where we've taken the first driver position, I think it kicks Vettel out. I'm not 100% sure. I suppose, you know, we'll find out. It doesn't give you the like when you first set up a season, it gives you the option who to pick as your teammate, which is cool. But then it doesn't do that for any season since. Killed him and then took his spot. It was a conspiracy all along. That was the goal. Murder Kimi Räikkönen, so we had no choice but to take his seat. And I'm going to spend the last of Haas's resource points so they can have a fuel efficiency boost. They don't get to choose what they do with the points I've earned. Poor Seb. I know. I think the game is going to... I think the game will give me Seb's spot rather than Kimi's. Which, considering the fact he literally just beat him in the Drivers' Championship, is a kick to the dick. But there you go. Yeah, so... yeah, there's our trophy room for Season 2. There's all the results that we got. We got 5th in Australia, 12th in Bahrain, 5th in China. See, you know, we didn't start well. It was, you know, a bit rocky. Then we got the wins in Monaco and Canada. And then just a few solid points finishes, you know, some decent positions there. Then sort of the downward spiral at the end there. You know, look, the DNF in Singapore, the 13th in Malaysia, the 8th in Japan, the 19th in USA, DNF in Mexico, 6th and then 6th again. But there we have it. And I think what we'll just do, we'll go to the next season screen. So we get to see this little detail here, which is nice. Your career Season 2 is complete. Gives you your list of positions there, the team performance chart. So, if we consider this, we're moving to Ferrari next season. Ferrari are just behind Mercedes. So we're going to need to be on it with the practice programs, and we're going to need to fight and scratch and claw, and hopefully, get the Drivers' World Championship. Drivers and Constructors is the dream, but if I just get the Drivers, then, you know, that's part of the course, and that's what I want to see. Well, that's it. That's it from me today. thank you everyone for coming out and watching the finale, and of course for those of you earlier on that were there for the Brazil stream. It was a busy one this evening, a busy one. If you did, of course, enjoy, please hit that subscribe button on the channel. I really, really do appreciate it. Enable them notifications because I'm going to be trying to stream the F1 career mode more often. I can't stream until next week as I'm not going to be at my home, which has my PC, but I'm going to be aiming to do streams every Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday for the Season 3 career mode. And then by my calculations, that should be enough time for me to finish that season before the release of F1 2017. But that's it from me. That's it from Season 2. You can go back and watch everything else. There's a playlist on the channel that's going to have everything in it. This will be a video on demand tomorrow. But, you know, if you guys have been here all stream, then that doesn't matter for you guys. And that's it. Have a nice evening, everyone.